Hey everyone, it's Mr. Aarons. We're going to talk about some more fractions today. Today we're going to work on fractions of a whole. Yesterday we were doing some review on fractions. Today we're going to dive a little bit deeper and let's get right into it. Alright, so we're looking at my first example I have here is this circle. So yesterday we talked about our numerator and our denominator, and we said that our numerator, our number on top, is parts that we have. Our denominator is the total amount of parts. So if we're looking at this first circle, the total amount of parts that I see that we split it into 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I see that the shaded part represents how many we have. And there are how many shaded parts? 1, 2. So that means 2 on top, 4 on bottom, 2/4 would be our fraction there. 4 was the total number of parts. There was 4. 2 was the parts that we had, the parts that were shaded. Looking at our next example, let's figure out what our total parts are. To figure out our total parts, we have to count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And to figure out the parts that we have, we'll look at the shaded parts. 1, 2, 3. Seems easy enough, right? Gets a little bit trickier. So let's find 3/9 of 9. So if we have 9, we'll just make some dots for now. We got 9 dots, and we got to find 3/9 of them. So we know that if there's 9 total dots, we have to figure out, here's our 9 total dots. 1, 2, 3. There's 3/9, one row. 3/9 of 9 is the same as 3. Pretty simple. But now let's look at our next example. How about 2/3 of 9? This one could be a little bit trickier. I'm going to start by drawing our 9 dots again. We're going to have to do this one a little bit different though. So right now I'm thinking, how can I change this fraction to make it a little easier for myself? And here's what I'm thinking. How can I get from 3 to 9? I know that 3 plus 6 is 9, but we can't do that while we're doing fractions. What we can do is we can do 3 times 3 equals 9. And remember, key rule here, whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. So I'm going to times that by 3, and whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. So I know 2/3 is the same as 6/9, and we can do that easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 2 rows. 2/3 of 9 is 6. 6/9 right there. All right. I got our next one ready for us here. I pulled out all my quarters that I have, and let's count them up. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 quarters. All right, the first thing that we're going to try to find is half of the quarters. Now, you might think that's pretty easy. If we can look at this, I know to count half of them, I just have to put 1 here, 1 on this side, 1 here, 1 on this side, 1 here, 1 on this side. I just have to split them up. So I'm going to split them all up, and I can figure out that half is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, there might have been some easier ways that you were able to do that, but our whole, we had 16 total. Our whole is 16. So our half was 8/16. When we have half, we have 8, but the whole is 16. Looking at our next one, they're asking us about 1/4. So what we can do here is we can count 1 in every 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull that one aside. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull that aside. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can see that 1/4 of 16 would be 4. So I can write 4/16. Finally, we have our last one down here is 1/8. So I'm going to use the same method right here, but I'm going to pull out 1 every 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pull those out, and I see that we got 2 out of the 16. So it's important to remember that our whole was 16. And whenever we're trying to pull out a fraction, we have to think of how many we need to pull out within every sequence. So for 1/2, we pull out 1 in every 2. For 1/4, we pull out 1 in every 4. For 1/8, we pull out 1 in every 8. So if I asked you 1/16, we would pull out 1 in every 16. And we have 16 total, so that means 1/16 would just be 1/4. I'd count all of them, and then 16 is the extra one. There's our starter up on fractions of a whole. We'll get more tomorrow.